Hello and welcome back to Last Orders, the show that is unedited and is just me ranting at the camera for your enjoyment as always. Today, this is off the back of my recent Titanic Nitro Stout and Porter head-to-head comparison review, what have you. Titanic Stout and Titanic Plum Porter, both in Nitro cans, and that was a great video actually. I don't know whether the video itself will be any good and anyone will like it, but I enjoyed filming it no end because, as I go on to say in that, both of these are two beers that I've really enjoyed a lot for a very long time. And recently, especially with the Plum Porter, I felt like it's lost its way. I didn't really feel that enamoured with it. But, well, case surprise, they're both not without fault, but far more enjoyable than I've had them of late. Again, especially the Plum Porter. It's definitely the best I've had the stout at home. Doesn't beat a pub pint, but it rarely does, let's be honest. Now, if you're thinking, no, it's been a while since you've done one of these, Tom, technically this is going to be episode 3, but it's actually the 4th one that I've filmed because the previous episode 3, it fell in a week where I was off work, I was doing loads of bits. I don't obviously edit these, but I have to cut them down and upload them. It got all out of sync and schedule stuff, and I wasn't that pleased by the video anyway because I felt like, I don't know, it could be misconstrued in places. I'm going to try and redo that video with a bit more of a fresh mind. I think on the time I was probably rushing it a bit just for the sake of content. And as we've already discussed, doing content for the sake of content never goes well. So, in fact, interestingly, these beers are quite a good example of the thing I was trying to talk about in that video, which was, I think we, certainly in the UK, have a beer problem. And it's something that I dubbed, and the name will feel purposefully, what's the word? The name will feel purposefully controversial. I think it's probably, there's a better word for it than that. But anyway, because the coinage I'm giving it is the campaign for queer ale. And what I mean by that is not what you think in any aspect. What I mean by that is the ongoing just insistence that beer get bigger and weirder all the time. And I think that crescendo has peaked, and now we're in for some pain and problem. In fact, I think that crescendo peaked probably around COVID, to be honest. Probably 3 or 4 years ago, but really it's definitely peaked now. And, well, yes, we're likely to see some problems from it. Just to clarify, what do I really mean by that? Well, excuse me, phone call. Hello. I did say there was no editing in this format, but you really didn't need to listen to 3 minutes of me and my other half waffling on about dinner plans. So, yes, the campaign for queer ale. What do I mean? I mean, there's just been this ongoing thing, and it started back when camera really got a big push, which was just to, you draw people in with the weird and wonderful, and it works. It's a great marketing exercise, right? But that brought us off the back of pretty consistent, maybe not great, but pretty consistent lower ABV trad beers. And ultimately, they were boring and losing out to European, big inverted commas there, lagers, which ended up, of course, being brewed here. And possibly rightly so. At least the original version was probably a bit better. So you go through this phase, and then we kind of get to that precipice in the late noughties where the camera can't really do a lot more. It's kind of got to the edge of reason and rationale and capability with the trad ales and being weird and wonderful. And then, of course, craft beer steps in, takes it on a slightly different direction, gets it even more weird, wild, and wonderful, and repeats the process just with slightly different kind of parameters. Parameters is the word you're looking for, Tom. And we end up there. And now I feel like we're already at that place where that's going to fall off. I know it's really boring, but have we just considered making maybe not the most interesting beer, but just making some beer really well? Just throwing it out there. Look, I'm not in the industry from that perspective. I'm not having to make it and sell it. I understand completely that an IPA sells infinitely easier than a hoppy blonde. But really, that's what you're making, right? But I don't know. Food for thought, really. This is this problem. I don't know how to fix it. I have been on the bandwagon of trying to promote, look, these are the best beers right now, and it's all German import stuff, really. And they aren't doing anything new or special. Yes, some of them are more interesting than ours in that they're, dark lagers at 6 or 7%. But we could do that. Could we do it as well? I don't know, but I feel like the potential is there, certainly in certain parts of the country, certain water profiles, so on. But yeah, these beers kind of represent that as well. A very heavily flavoured thing that was very popular for quite a while. And now, because of cost limitations and the need to compete in that market, is not the beer it was. It's still nice in this format, but generally speaking, it's just not the beer it was. And I guess on the flip side, and this is interesting, Nitro Stouts, they might be inadvertently doing exactly what I'm asking. Because most of these Nitro Stouts, these Guinness alternatives, whatever you want to call them, are pretty tame ABVs, pretty tame flavour profiles from a dark beer standpoint. If you don't like dark beer, it might still feel a bit wild and weird, but they are pretty safe bets by the standard of the style, and yet they're selling like hotcakes. Well, it's proof that it can be done. Now, I know it's difficult because Guinness has this very strange ability to just rebrand itself to a new set of people and become instantly a hit wherever you go. But ultimately, if we've proved that people are willing to drink it, can't we do that with anything else? I'm now really worried that everyone just drinks based off what is perceived as popular and not what they really like, because the IPA thing followed by the Guinness thing feels very contradictory. But hey, who knows? Thoughts in the comments, please, on that one. I'm going to stop rambling because I don't really have anything else to say about it. I'm a bit unsure of where we go from here, really. Beyond that, though, the video, not the one you've just seen, but the one before, in fact, two before, I'm a few ahead now, was me visiting the Farmer's Dog, the Jeremy Clarkson's pub, Diddy Squat Farm, his farm, and Hawkston Brewery, his brewery, which was a genuinely really good day out, but I was really struggling on how to frame it. So I filmed most of it. Well, I filmed all of it there, obviously, except for the outro, which was done in the studio. But I was very uncertain of how to kind of frame the day after the fact, because I loved it, right? I've been a car nerd for years. I've watched all of Top Gear, all of the Grand Tour, all everything, all the spin-offs, everything. So for me, it was a brilliant experience. But for those people who just into one thing or the other, it had the potential to be a really expensive day out and leave everyone feeling a bit like they've been done over. The prices are extravagant, no doubt about it, right? $7.50 for a basic bacon cob, bacon roll, bacon back, whatever you want to call it. Same with sausage. And the prices go on. I mean, there was some mugs in there at £26 per enamel mug. Again, a lot of their stuff is like made locally, made in the UK, all the rest of it, which is great. And I appreciate that with that comes an inflated price tag, plus the fact that it's at these venues, which is, I think I've described it as effectively Clarkson Disneyland, brings some inflated pricing. But then again, the quality is so good over all of it. It's not like they've just thrown everything at it and gone, here's some big prices, pay what you will, do what you want with that sucker, we don't care. It's genuinely good stuff, and it leaves me really quite torn on how to present that. So I ended up presenting it quite flat, basically saying, yeah, it's a bit pricey, but it was good. But that was about the fairest I could do. But yeah, it was an interesting one. I think probably felt worse for me having taken the van down the M6 toll and back. That cost a few quid as well. But yeah, I don't know. Has anyone been? Do you feel like it was worth what you spent at the time? Of course, you're not forced to buy anything, but then you go there and you go, well, I may as well. And I should also say they sell a lot of diddly squat stuff in a farm shop up by me. I mentioned it before, and the prices are exorbitant. They are through the roof, right? I reviewed a ginger beer that wasn't made by Hawkston. It's a diddly squat ginger beer, like it's by someone else, but with um, diddly squat's ginger in it, I think. And it's like £4.50 for a 330ml can of 2.5% ginger beer at the farm shop. Ridiculous. £2.50 at or £2.75 at diddly squat on all three of those benches, or at least two of them. So yeah, other people are definitely up pricing them, which makes it seem even worse. And yeah, that was that. They then did the review of the 4 beers we could get. Was really disappointed we couldn't get their Nitro Stout in bottles or cans or whatever. It'd have to be cans, wouldn't it? But so yeah, only got 3 lagers and an IPA. When drinking them on their own, they were pretty good, but as we discovered in the video, felt a bit samey, and the original was great. I know why they've made more. I can't help but think that they shouldn't have bothered, if I'm being brutally honest. But yeah, that's kind of my rants done, I think. Time of filming is mid-November. By the time this comes out, it will be late November, nigh on December. So Christmas stuff next, I guess. Because I'm so far ahead, I don't know what I'm doing yet. But yeah, I'll catch you on the festive side. That's it. I'm done. That's all I've got to say about it. As always, thank you very much for watching. What do I normally say? Yeah, like, subscribe, eat stuff, all that. I've forgotten. It's a Friday night. I'm going to enjoy a beer. Cheers.